right, y'all. You know what it is. It's your boy, Brian Forbes. We're back inside Steppin live on this Tuesday, as always, at 7 o'clock sharp Central Time. We are in the building. Tonight, you guys, we are going to do some things. What happened?
The title needs a space.
Needs a space.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Somehow the title doesn't look right. Just say there's no space.
Okay. Someone said the title doesn't look right. All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what the title is since we are into this and I don't have my crew on deck. They're shouting orders from the sidelines like they always do, but it's okay. Hey, Val Wells, I see you. Thank you for coming through. Okay, so you guys, we are about to deal with an interesting topic because tonight we're gonna touch a very touchy subject. We currently are dealing with issues between. You say you think it's fine?
Yeah, I think because she sees Steppin and glamping.
No, that belongs that way. That's yeah. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, so see, my crew, they taking care of business. But I appreciate each and every one of them. Hey, Vonda Powell, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. So look, y'all, we're gonna deal with a very touchy subject tonight. We're gonna talk about old school and new school. We're gonna talk about the music. We're gonna talk about some of the things that we are dealing with in regard to the controversy surrounding the music that we deal with in this dance, because you all know we have those who say we're not playing no old ass dusties. Okay, and then you have those who prefer to stick to what we're all familiar with in terms of the original music from the dance. My thinking is that there has to be a happy medium. There has to be a place somewhere in the middle where we can coexist, minus the disrespect. And y'all all know, Inside Steppin is about education, information, about bridging gaps, about making things better for us all. So tonight, you guys, we are currently awaiting my guest for the evening, who will be Mr. Kevin SteppinAndGlampin Brewer, who is one of what I like to refer to, and they refer to themselves as the new generation. And he'll be chiming in here with us in a few minutes. He's currently in traffic. But in the meantime, I wanna break down a few things where this whole dance and the music is concerned. You guys, I have to realize, well, we all have to realize that without the older portions of the music that we are all accustomed to and that we've all been dancing to for a long time, especially those of us who have been around this dance for many, many years. And myself, I haven't even done the math. I don't even know how long it's been. All I can tell you is that I took my first steps in like 1975 as a young kid. I mean, hell, in 75 I was 10. And that was when I began my journey in the stepping world, not even understanding really what I was doing at the time, because I was more of a crash test dummy to some of my cousins than I was bopping, because that's what they were teaching me, or what we were doing. It was the bop. So moving forward, I began to be exposed more to the dance because of the friends that I had and the people that I was around, and the places that we frequented, and the crowd, and being ripping and running up and down them streets, which is the story of a lot of us, for a lot of us, guys in my age range. Well, certain songs brought back and bring back, still to this day, certain memories. And this is one of the things, and I've said this on previous shows, and this is one thing that we all have to take into account before we start deciding what side of the fence we're going to be on. I had to learn that you have to understand people, or at least try to. When you and this applies. Now, I want y'all to understand this. This applies across the board. It doesn't matter if it's stepping involved. It doesn't matter if it's your general life. This one I'm about to give you is one to grow on. When you take the time out to learn to understand people, it causes you to be in a better place where you are less angry or feeling less confrontational. Here's why. It's kind of like, you know how you talk to a person that may be special needs. You can talk to that person. You can be stern with them. You can talk to them in ways that you would talk to somebody else that you understand has their full capacity. But you would not talk to them that way because you understand that they have special needs. So rather than become angry with them, you become empathetic, sympathetic even. You realize that talking to them that way makes no sense because they're not grasping what you're saying anyway. When you realize that, okay, y'all, we're going to bring Kevin in a second. When you realize that you have people around you that you have to take the time to understand, then you are less angry and better able to have a discussion. Most times when people have arguments, they tend to think about what's being said. They listen not to problem solve, but they listen in order to respond. They're looking for to be able to say something back that's snippy, smart, quick, or damaging. They're looking to do damage. They're looking to retort for the purpose of out of anger, for the purpose of doing damage, rather than saying, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying and I want to, let's work it out. The only way you can work it out is that you have to understand the person that you're talking to, or understand where they're coming from, or try to understand. And when you do that, we get a lot further in the dialogue about making things better. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my guest. And the reason I brought that particular conversation up is because he and I had a very interesting conversation last week while we were in Chicago. He and I started what I believe is going to be a very constructive and positive dialogue in the way of bridging the gaps between the young and the old and our ability to make things better. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to my guy, Kevin, Steppin and Glampin, Brewer, the man himself. What's going on, Captain?
What's up, B? How you doing, bro?
Man, we here, bro. We here. I'm glad to see you, man, and I appreciate you taking this last minute invitation to come on, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very, very, very pleased with the little conversation that we did have, man, and I hope that we can forward this conversation because I believe something in me tells me that you and I have the ability to make a difference, and I would love to see that happen. I hope you with me on that.
I'm good, man. It's kind of, I kind of
bring your microphone a little closer, bro.
I said if I'm honest, I don't engage too much with it, man, because I think I got a little say, and I don't want to influence people one way or the other, so I just kind of just watch it fold out, man.
Well, I agree with you. I don't believe that we should be influencing people in any one direction or another. I would rather see everybody meet in the middle. I would rather see the respect returned on both sides of the fence, because you made some very valid points to me the other day. And if I could recap for my audience, you guys, we had a discussion where Mr. Brewer expressed to me that in as much as there are people in this dance that have been around for a long time, feel disrespected, he also mentioned to me that there's an equal amount of disrespect being levied in the direction of the younger generation. Am I correct when I say that? I want to make sure we on the same page.
Yeah, I feel that in a sense. Many people probably feel that way. Don't say much.
Okay, right. And that right there is part of the problem because nobody says anything. And that's what Inside Steppin is here for. That's why we do what we do. I would like to, if we could find a way, because I know that there's room. Here's the thing, I've been DJing now a couple of years and enjoying it, and I
Mm-hmm.
also understand that in doing so, we have to, as DJs, we have to pay attention to who our crowd is. We have to play to the people that we have in front of us. And in the defense of, I'm gonna refer to y'all as the new generation. In the defense of of y'all's generation, man, I'm gonna say this right here, and I'm saying this to my older generation so that we can take heed. When we were coming up, and I mentioned this at the very top of the show, when we were coming up, the music that we came up on is what we remember. It's what we dealt with. And it reminds us of our lives coming up and our past and our history. And it brings up those fond memories and those people that we were fond of throughout our life. But what we have to understand is that even though we maintain ourselves in this culture on that level, this younger generation did not come up in our time listening to our music. The music that they listen to reflects on their lives coming up, because like I said at the top of the show, music is the soundtrack of all of our lives. Whatever songs affect you, because everybody has something different. Nobody's playlist is the same. So whatever songs affected you coming up are the ones that trigger things for you. So the same thing applies when it comes to younger guys. Now, am I right about that?
You're exactly right.
Okay. So with that said, we have to be able now, and I don't, because see, what I don't want to hear from people, especially my generation, what I don't want to hear is, you know, well, we don't want to hear that, because here's the bottom line: we can go to whichever set we know is going to fit our genre, a portion of this dance, and we don't have to attend the events that have the music that we are not going to gravitate toward. There's something for everybody, and Lord knows there's 10,000 stepping DJs out there, so we definitely got that covered. But what I would like to see eliminated is the disrespect from both sides of the aisle, so that we can come to a happy medium in our sets, and at least to a point be able to cater to each side. Because let's face it, we dying off. These are the people that are going to carry the dance forward, and we would do better by making it easier for them to come into the fold than pushing them away. Now, Kevin, I want you, I would love to hear your take on the things that I'm saying.
Uh,
I
I
want them
guess
to hear it more than anything else.
I think if I'm being truthfully and transparent, youthful people, even younger than me, they're gonna do what's comfortable for them. Like when it comes to music, let me speak. I would say I'm gonna go from my experience. I've been dancing almost 15 years. I live in Chicago. I can step 7 days a week. I would majority say the music is not the music I listen to on the radio when I go stepping. And so when I hear music,
They want you to speak up just a little bit.
when I hear
There you go.
when I hear music that I rarely hear music that just cater towards me. So when I do, it's attractive. And I think as one of the new people to the dance, me trying to bring people in the dance, I've tried that. I've tried to bring my friends to the
And
50
Lord
yard
knows we
line.
need more men.
When I bring my friends to the 50-yard line, the one of the first things they say is like, "Man, my daddy friend up in here," or my my grandma's sister or bingo friend over there. And so then they stop coming out. And so I am under the pretense of like, okay, I got to do something to get them in first. And
Mm-hmm.
once I get them in, I then could teach them to love the Dusties. Like I've grown to love the Dusties.
Right.
I have to get them here first and then teach them. You know what I mean? And so just like we have to, when people first see man on man or trios, my guy, when he first started, his first thing was like, I ain't dancing with no man, you know. And I had to teach him that's the culture thing. So I had to get him first and then teach him. And we just want, I don't want to say I'm not gonna speak for no other person. I just want people to understand that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to disrespect like nobody, even though people might be that way. But the intentions has always been positive to try to grow the dance in any way, shape, or form.
That's what's up, man. And I appreciate that coming from you. Um, you know, I believe we have room for everybody, and like you said, man, we are. I mean, hell, our older generation, shit, we had a loss for men, and so I know the younger guys coming into the game. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Ambassador Kevin Nevels. He and I talk often, and we had a discussion one day about a month or two ago, and he pointed something out to me that hadn't occurred to me. And he said, you know, you got to remember that when we were going out back in the day, we went out in packs.
Mm-hmm.
We went out in groups because back then, you know, cats was, I ain't gonna say me, cats was gang banging and, you know, running in cliques and all that type of thing. So when we showed up at a set, you know, you really couldn't go by yourself. You had to go. So if your peers and everybody else was in there dancing, you was going to be in there dancing too. So that's why a lot of the men from that generation came about. Now most young cats, they run in dolo. They got a couple of homies with them and that type of thing. But like y'all's generation don't even slow dance. So forget about walking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't come up with that, with the blue light in the basement like we did. So there's so many variances in our overall culture already, and then we have to make exceptions to be included in this dance. So I personally would like to see more of the older generation be able to, you know, bring along more younger people and help them to understand this culture.
But what I want people to also understand, I get it. I'm not a DJ, but I understand when I look at the crowd, and majority of my crowd likes this type of music. What I'm trying to say is like, hey, in the 15 years I've been here, we probably make about 15% or 20% of the crowd. Give us 20% of the songs. That's my ask. And then like don't try to guess what you think the songs are. Ask us. We are a internet age group.
Right.
We do this for fun. We find music every day and we have chat groups and we ship it to each other. And can we step up this? Can you do that? Back your generation is a radio generation. The song was broken on the radio, and if it's popular, everybody listens to it. Right now, we go searching for music.
Well, now see, now, let me hold on. Let's put a bookmark right there. Now, see, let me give you a correction.
Okay.
We didn't step off what was on the radio. We stepped off what we called the B-sides. That was the other side of the record. That like we had 45s. See, a lot of y'all's generation don't even know what 45s are. There's a small, you know, little wax. Yep. We flipped those over on the B side. That was the side of the record that nobody listened to. And we would turn those over. And a lot of times the music on that side would be what we would dance to. Now, one of the things that I know is true, and I don't care what year the music came out, Steppin, like Sharnice Simmons has on her apparel, is a whole vibe. The music is, there's certain music of all genres that is you can step to, that has that stepping vibe. So there's really no, and here's the other thing. A lot of people say now, like, you know, a lot of them guys say, oh, we're not going to play no old ass dusties, that kind of thing, right? Well, the thing is this. A lot of the hip hop that's being played or the R&B that's being played in the newer generation is over 20 years old. So it technically it's a dusty too. But
exactly. I one thing I just noticed, and you did the broadcast on the What's Artist. I challenged every DJ in the country, go back and look at the new school category and listen to the songs that were played for each of the contestants. Tell me how many of those songs are being played in the clubs. None of them. I guarantee you, go listen to these people pick their own music. Y'all didn't. The DJ didn't pick them.
Right.
They submitted them to the judges. Go listen to every song that all the new school people picked, and tell me how many of those songs are being played in our clubs.
Well, now I have to do this. I have to, and I thought about this after you and I talked. What I have to do is, and this is speaking from my DJ perspective, you have to place a level of blame on the DJs. Here's why. We have people who say, okay, as a matter of fact, you did this. You told me this. We were sitting there and you said, let's break down, let's do the numbers. You said, okay, you in Chicago, you step 7 days a week. 7 days a week, you hear how many songs are in a rotation, how many times are you going to hear those songs in a week, how many times you're going to hear them in a month, year, so on, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
Here's the thing about that, though, because I did think about what you said. I thought about it. I sat back and I said, okay, what he's saying has some validity to it, but here's the problem. The problem is, well, one thing, and I don't want to call this a problem, but DJs must cater to their audience. That's what's going to make them a good DJ. They got to watch their floor. They got to pay attention. However, I agree with you that there is a necessity and room for DJs to play music that is not part of the mainstream. But this, to me, is where a lot of DJs are going to be separated, because certain DJs are going to understand that vibe. And when they know that vibe, they'll bring, like I'm going to tell you like this. It messed me up one time. I was down here. I'm not going to say the DJ's names. A couple of very, very well-known and good DJs that I was playing with at a set one day. To have them run up to me, like literally with their phone in the air trying to Shazam the songs, let me know I was on my square. You feel what I'm saying? When I got my DJ peers trying to see what the hell that is I'm playing, I know I'm doing my thing. However, we have to also be careful, because what we don't want to do is turn our audience off. But as a DJ, when it comes to, like you saying about introducing new music, every DJ factually don't understand that vibe. That's just keeping it 100. They don't understand it. A lot of the DJs who did not grow up in the culture like I did, they are at a bit of a disadvantage in some cases. Many of them are very good, but a lot of them just don't get it. And it's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just that there has to be understanding. And this is part of the reason why I stress to so many people that the history and the culture are such a necessity. But you make extremely valid points. And this is the dialogue that needs to take place between all of us, so that we can come to some type of happy medium, and that all of the BS can be eliminated from the set and we can have a good time together.
Yeah, I tried to break it down empirically. Like I told you when I talked to you at Heroes, I said, hey, I've been to the 51 day. I sat there for 3 hours. I recorded every song that was played. And I was just like, and I could, just from the songs alone, I could tell you was a 20% that represent the crowd there. But I guess I do want to say this piece, and it might be controversial, but I am pleading to anybody.
Put the phone up there close to you. We want to make sure we hear it now.
I do want to say this, and I don't want it to be controversial, but I want to kind of represent for the loose school.
No, man, speak on it, brother. That's what we're here for.
I am pleading for people older than me, and to let them know, some of us, we're not really trying to offend people. If we decide if there's, let's say, 6 parties or 7 parties in the year that seem to be of a newer group and they're playing music that maybe you're not used to, don't get mad at it. Just know that we're trying to further the culture. We really are. Like, and just know, I know me personally, we're trying to get people in to love it. And I guarantee you, if they're around me, eventually they're gonna come to learn the song like "Life in the City." They gonna. I love that. They gonna learn to love that too. But at first, let us do what we need to do and how we need to do it to get them in. Because we are the ones that know how to do it. Like it. Not to say y'all can't tell us how to do it, but we can relate to these people because they're close to our age.
Right. I don't disagree with that. I agree with that 100%.
So allow us to do what we need to do to get them in, because it's
Kevin, working. one of the listeners, one of the viewers wants to know what your age is.
I am be 46 tomorrow.
Okay.
My birthday is September 28th, and will be 46-year-old. Thank God for health and blessings, man.
I know you right. I just turned 57, brother, so I get it.
Oh, you look good, bro. You look
Thank you,
good. I'm
thank
mad
you.
you got all that hair, man. You know,
Yeah, they be trying to
I
cut my hair, man. They be trying to cut it off me. You dig? Um,
I need of it.
one thing that I'm, I'm glad again we're able to have. If nothing else, this is a beginning dialogue that we want to do that I'd like to see more of publicly because I know that we can do this without all of the nonsense. See, the whole issue is when you don't understand what you're dealing with and what you're looking at. And the only way to understand something is if you sit down and have those conversations. You know what I'm saying?
And make up narratives about people that you have never in your life talked to.
Mm.
Yeah, like there's narratives that has been created that I know the people that talk, they have never talked about them. That person has no don't ain't even thinking about them. Sometimes when initiatives are brought up, they're even thinking about another group to even offend the other group. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everything is not about that. Things are trying to be pushed forward in the way people enjoy it and want to enjoy it. Like, and that's whatever I know. That's whatever I do.
Well, right quick before we even go any further, first let me tell you happy birthday ahead of
Appreciate it.
time. We have one of our guests says, "Who is this I'm speaking with?" Reread. This is Kevin, Mr. Steppin and Glampin Brewer. This is he gives a big camping glamping stepper set every August.
Where's she from? Where's she from?
She's here in Texas. Now she's originally a Michigan girl, Detroit. Um,
Okay.
and I want you because I want you to plug your event. Matter of fact, I want you to talk about. In fact, man, I heard y'all had a really good time this year, and I'm sorry I missed it. I will not miss another one. Go ahead and let the people know, man, about your event.
Man, I throw an event the first weekend of August. It's called Steppin and Glampin. It's pretty much a kind of like a steppers picnic where we spend a night. We come out there for camaraderie, just to fraternize. Like we have comedy shows, we have day parties, night parties, we have line dancing class, aerobic class, stepping classes. We throw a big kickball game. We play tug of war. We have a big
Yeah,
field day.
I saw the tug of war on the video, man. It was pretty funny. I heard the
Yeah,
men
yeah,
lose
yeah.
every year.
I know women. They beat us 2 years in a row. I, I'm letting everybody know there are a million women out there. So it ain't just like this. And they have conniving ways to somehow win, like sitting on the rope. I've never, I've never seen that in my life. But they say that's not cheating. It is what it is. So but my business every first weekend of August, man, is just something to get out, something different, man. I think it gives you an opportunity to meet people. Like when you go to a regular separate party, we talk passively and moving because the music's loud. We're in a hotel, we might see each other in the lobby, then go to our separate rooms. My event, I think you're kind of forced to like get to know your neighbors
That's a beautiful
there
thing.
because you gotta help each other. Like we helping each other set up tents, we helping each other cook. We helping each other like walking women to the bathroom late at night. We just brotherhood smokes everything, man. It's pretty dope to see people in their natural element, no makeup, just everybody just coming out there having a good time, bro.
Okay, two things. One, tell us about the tent contest, man. I saw some really fly tents out there.
Man, I was super shocked, man. Like people had TVs, refrigerators, I mean drapes, carpet, sheets. I mean, it was over the top, bro.
They went in, huh?
I want to do a better job. This is my first year doing the contest of it, and my photographer. We had a certain time we wanted to do it, but like you camping, everybody doing something, so
Lot going on.
we couldn't get around to every tip. So next year, I'm gonna have a platform, whether it's Instagram or whatever, where that individual take their own pictures, and then they would submit them to me, and I will put a poll out there and let people vote. So I know a lot of people didn't get their attention in. I apologize, but next year we're gonna improve on it.
Yeah, I heard one of my classmates won this year.
For that. So
C4L CVS in the building.
man, I just when I was crazy. I just got back in town from
Yeah, I heard
Toledo.
I heard Talena took it. I mean, yeah, they
Yeah, we just came back from Wisconsin camping, man. I hope people just don't wait just to step in glamping, man. If y'all want to go out, pick a time. If I'm in the area, let me know. I'll go out with you. I'm trying to spread the culture of camping too. Let them know that, hey, black people do different stuff
All right, well,
also.
y'all hear that next year, next August. Be prepared. Stepping and glamping, they get it up, they get it in, y'all. It's a hell of a
Yep.
thing to see. Now, right quick, Kevin, one of my YouTube listeners wants to know, can you provide us with examples of the types of music that you all think is a better fit for the generation, for the younger generation?
Anything that you can step to that is in 2000 plus. Tevin Campbell is not.
2000 and up, huh?
Yeah, Tevin Campbell.
So that's the parameter. Anything 2000 and up.
I mean, because I'm just letting people know Tevin Campbell is not new. You know what I'm saying? DMX is not new. You
Right.
know, like these people were in 1990. People think that's new music. Just, I mean, the BPM and the
Right,
speed,
right, right.
the time of a beat. Like if you can snap your finger to it and step to it, it's possible. I hear it all the time.
Well, the
And
fact
I'm like,
is, real steppers will tell you they can step to anything, and it's
right,
true. But there is a vibe that is preferred.
right. And what I'm telling you is that we understand you can't take the regular sets. You got to cater to the crowd. Every blue moon in the country, there's some dedicated sets. I implore every young person to try to come. You know, so this is your opportunity to have it all. You're going to be the majority in those parties. Those are here in. There are not a lot of them. So when they happen, I want you to attend. But I also, if you get an opportunity and you want to learn the tradition, come on down to the 50. Come on down to the Grand Ballroom. Come on down to the West Side with my man Myron. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy it. Enjoy
The
all
Blue
the
Note.
music.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Well, Kevin, I hope this is an opening to an ongoing dialogue, man, so that we can reunite the understanding, because the people, we're gonna be united. We like them cousins you can't stand that come over once a year or something, but we try
Man,
to.
the people. And this is my experience. The people that so-called see the difference, man. I I don't see. I don't think that's the majority. The people that older old heads that I kind of respect and kind of taught me, I never hear them say nothing. I never hear Dunny say nothing. Dunny's supportive. I never hear Pete say nothing. I never hear Daryl Davis say nothing. I never hear Mike Daphne say
You
nothing.
right.
Like,
In fact, they support what y'all are doing.
they are with the. I don't hear them really complaining. Like in for us to get anybody to dance. Like I hate one of my pet peeves is the out of towners are doing it wrong. I'm just happy they dancing. You know, like I want men to dance. Like if I'd rather have a dude doing the wrong than to be in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can if you're doing the wrong, he can learn to do it right. But like we need as much encouragement in this world as we can to get men out here.
I agree with that.
You know, anything we can do possible, we can go pick them up, play music, feed them, whatever. We need guys.
Yeah, you're not gonna get no argument out of me on that one. That's for sure. Because this is something that we have rehashed over and over and over. And it's funny because even my wife, we get to talking about somebody talking about, oh, that so and so said they want to learn the steps. She's like, we don't need no more women. Where the men at? And us, the guys, man, we got big egos, so it don't help when some of the guys, they don't want other men. They don't want men telling them what to do or men explaining. And so it becomes an issue. And this is just something that, it's hard enough just to get guys to even come do this. And like you said, you got young kids, I ain't dancing with no man. They have to start to understand. They have to understand the culture and what's really going on and just kind of get a history of it all. But the only way to do that, like you say, you got to get them in there first.
Got to get them first.
You got to get them there. If you don't get them there, it doesn't matter. And the fact is, if we want this dance to continue and grow, we got to look toward the future. I mean, it's kind of like if you know anything about some of the stuff that's going on over in the Asian countries, they banned families from having more than one child for many, many, many years. Now all of a sudden they have a population shortage and they don't have people to fill jobs and different things because they didn't look to the future. So now what?
Right.
So
yeah. I feel it. Like I look, even me, like I'm old enough to hear this new music and Guns and Uzi and all these ad libs in a song, yeah, and all this. I'm like, it's different, but hey, that's what these kids vibe to, man. Like I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with all the gun stuff,
Right.
but it's a different time, man.
It's a different time, that's for sure. You said a mouthful right there.
It's a different time, man.
So, well, listen, Kevin, man, look, all I can say is I appreciate you, brother. You got anything you want to lead the people with?
Man, just hey, keep stepping, man. Keep dancing, man. Let's have fun. Uh, Everybody dance for different reasons, man. I ain't knocking whoever reason, whether it's for their occupation or enjoyment or getting out of depression, man. Let's just keep dancing, keep smiling, and just keep living, man.
That's what's up. All right, Kev, thanks, man. I want you to have a
All
good
right,
night, brother. Be careful out there getting where you're going, man. I
all
appreciate
right,
you
brother.
stopping and taking the time. This is very important. It's very
No,
instrumental in where we headed, brother.
no doubt,
You've done a great thing.
no doubt.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Peace.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Steppin and Glampin Brewer. Now, as he stated, you have to recognize the validity in his points and in the things that he's saying. And until we, as an entire group, learn to sort of embrace the ideas and the things that he put forward in that way, we got a long way to go, y'all. We got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot we need to do. Sharnice said, "Where are we really headed, Brian?" That's a great question, Sharnice, and I often think about it and I wonder myself, because the fact that we have such a lack of organization, and what I mean by that is we don't have any governing bodies. We don't have any sanctioned ideas where we say certain people are technically qualified to be instructors. We don't have people that say, that we don't have we have to have some sort of there has to be some ground floor foundation. There has to be something that the rest of the community can stand on in order for it to move into the future in a way that's going to maintain the culture, respect the history, and carry it forward so that it doesn't die off. Because let's face it, Steppin is an infant in the partner dance world in comparison to all other partner dances that have been global for some a few hundred years or more. So we have to, if we intend for this thing to not just die off, but the thing is this, people in Chicago gonna do this when they don't do nothing else. That's just the bottom line. But the fact is, we're getting older, y'all. The older generation is getting older. And if we continue to try and hoard our ideas about what this dance is, or maintain this level of keeping it in this space, we're doomed. The dance is doomed. Keela Davis says, how do you start that process? Keela, the process has been attempted on more than one occasion. Here's a really funny thing. Something I know about pimps, and bear with me with this analogy. If you ever ask a pimp who he thinks is the best pimp out there, he's going to automatically tell you he is. It ain't a pimp colder than him in the world. If you ask most instructors who the better instructor is in the Steppin community, every one of them going to tell you they are. So the bottom line is, until some levels of humility, and I don't mean people have to lower themselves, I mean we have to respect one another. And until some level of respect comes to pass, where we can sit down at a table and say, for the good of the dance, not my personal gain, but for the good of the dance, let's make something work. Let's put something together. Some people are going to have to come down a few notches. A few people are going to have to come up a few notches. And that's just the bottom line. Will something like that happen? Ugh. Whew. As bad as I hate to say it, I don't see it. But there has to be something. And I do have an idea about how to make that happen. I can't say it out loud because if I do, it won't happen. It won't work. Because then there will be those who will understand exactly what I'm saying. What?
Read the messages Diane Gabby said.
Okay. Read it to me. Wait a minute. Let me find it.
Let them dance to the music they want.
I need glasses. You know I can't see. Okay, y'all. Diane Dabney says, let them dance to the music they want to dance to. No one stopped us when we danced to our music in the 70s. They will come around. Absolutely. I agree with you, Diane Dabney, 150%. And that's a fact, because one thing that people, I think, also forget is that when this younger generation, and this is something a lot of people don't really know, when Steppin actually came into fashion, it was done by the young generation. Everything that is done in terms of change is always done by the young people. I don't care what it is. Even the civil rights movement was done by teenagers. When Fred Hampton was murdered, he was only 21 years old. See, it's always by them. Now, what happens is that what happened during that time, you still had your older generation who were bopping. They were still bopping. They did not necessarily care for this new form of the bop called stepping. And that's the overview. I'm not getting into details about what came first and second, but that's the general consensus. So this is very much the same thing, only we are dealing with it moving forward and its future. Now, we could also, and there have been many things, and even I have said it, if they want to do something different, I say go ahead. Ain't nobody going to stop them, just like Dan Dabney said. However, if they want to change the dance, then call it something else. The Steppers, well, thanks to Sam Chapman, called that form of the bop something else. It was called stepping. Steppers never went back and said, we trying to change the bop. They just let it be what it was. So if there's going to be any variances, then, get out a different name. But I know that we can work this out through the music. The music should not be an issue whatsoever in what we dance to. Everybody has the option, and everybody can say no. Because you can pick and choose which set you go to. Well, shit, people do that anyway. So, let's see. Stephen Wright said, I understand what you're saying, my brother, but with the rhythm and the beat and coming from the old school step, if we keep it programmed to make more schooling for a person to learn how to step and know the rhythm, then we have it all to keep it going. But if we don't keep it alive, it won't work. It will die out. Well, I don't disagree with that either. But see, here's the other thing too. Y'all also got to remember, when it comes to this dance, and going back to what I just said about pimps and instructors, and I'm not trying to say that instructors are pimps, but I am saying that the attitude, the ideology is very similar. If I had a quarter for every instructor that I heard say, other instructors can't instruct. While I will agree that there are many who should not be instructing, there are those who I wish others could say these are the authorities on teaching this dance. Number one, there are no perfect steppers. There are no perfect instructors. But there are variations of this dance to be taught. You can get something from all of them. But there are some who truly do not and cannot articulate this dance in a way that makes it palatable for the layman. The way the dance is set up today with the basic 8 count and your basic foundation, anyone should be able to do this dance. The problem that we run into is that there are people calling themselves instructors who do not understand how to give that foundation properly. They may be able to stand in front of you and show you, but if they cannot explain to you what you're doing and why you're doing it, anyway, my point is this. We have a future, or we want to have a future in this dance. We want this dance to progress and move forward in a positive and constructive and beautiful way. But the only way that that's going to happen is the bickering has to stop. The back and forth has to stop. The egos have to come down a few notches, and people have to work together. We are already only 13 to 15% of the population as black people. This dance doesn't even register on the radar of dance genres globally, let alone even in the United States. And we have to put this thing where it belongs on the map. This is ours. This was created in Chicago. This has gone global. And I say we should not miss the boat. Jamila Salim says, Brian, explain what you mean by variations of the dance. When people do a variation at the set, they are asked what you doing. Jamila, here's what I mean. And this can get complicated. Right now, when you watch, if you go to any club, you can go to the 50-yard line. I'm using Chicago clubs. You can go to Heroes. You can go to the Blue Note. There will be individuals whom you will see that do not dance like anyone else. When I was coming up, that was not even a thought. That was not even an issue. Now, because you have people who are new to the dance, and when I say new, I'm talking in the last 10, 20 years, they are so acclimated to what is referred to. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's what this is. Referred to as new school. That is one variation. Then you have the original, what I refer to as the original dance, which is Steppin, which is more footwork and things of that nature than the turns and spins that you see with the newer generations. Then before that, you have the boppers who did things at a different cadence. Now, you have to also remember that all of these dances and steps are still the same dance. And it took, and I'm going to tell you, because I resisted this 8 count and other things for a very long time. I had to get slapped in the head a couple of times to get my mind right. But it was Doc who pointed something out to me, which was the reason why when I did take it upon myself to go ahead and say, I'm going to learn the 8 count, I had to kind of put the things that I knew on the back burner, the things that I was accustomed to, in order to make my dance more compatible with today's style. So Doc, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I had an epiphany. I had a you're an idiot moment when this happened. He was actually doing some privates, and I was sitting there with him, and he said to me, you know, it's the same dance. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. Now, this is when I knew that I would not allow anyone who was not from where I was from and understood what I know to teach me, because he understood my style of the dance. He said, stand up. And he went through the 8 count, and then he turned around and went through what I do. And I felt like almost like an idiot, because I was like, damn, you're right. It is the same damn dance. And I felt funny, you know, and it was an epiphany for me. It was one of those aha moments. And so to know that I could still have an aha moment this late in the game, and this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, I got an education that day, not just about my steps and about the dance, but just about myself. And so that made me have to realize that there are some things that we all could learn going through this process. So for those that are newer, there's a lot you can learn from the older. And for those that are older who reject the new, you need to listen to them too. So when I say variations, I'm just saying that there are, when you go to Chicago, you will see people dance and you'll say to yourself, what count are they on? What number are they on? They're not on a number. They don't use numbers. They never use numbers and they never will use numbers. So they're like I said, this is a thing where there's so much to learn that we will all be long in our graves before any one person can grasp it all. It's just not possible. That's just my thinking on this. There are those who have more educated feet than others, but just because one is a great dancer does not make one a great instructor. Let that be clearly understood. So in the future, my thing is this: learn all you can from whomever you can, but be leery about those you give your money to who are not capable of giving you this game the right way. Check their credentials. That's all I'm going to tell you. Ask somebody. If you want to go to somebody and get something, make sure that you're going to a reputable person. Now we have a group of individuals in this game that have been at this a long time and their reputation speaks for itself. But then you have others who jump into the game and, then everybody got to start somewhere. I ain't knocking nobody for starting. Some people, they wake up one day, I want to be a DJ. They wake up one day, I want to be a promoter. They wake up one day, I want to be an instructor. Okay, do that. I encourage it. But just make sure your path is one where you are more like grasshopper and you're learning as you go than you are one who jumps out there thinking that you know everything and end up tearing your ass and messing up a bunch of other people and developing what is a terrible reputation, because there are individuals in this community, when their names come up, there's never anything good said. That's not a good place to be in. And for those people, and I'm sure a lot of them know who they are, my suggestion is, start doing damage control. Turn it around for yourself. Everybody doesn't have to be unscrupulous all their life. Because there are people out here that are grifters. There are people who are, in it for the money. They're in a money grab, and don't get it twisted. Ain't nothing wrong with getting paid for what you do and what you know. That's what people get paid for every single day. They get paid for what they know. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But let's just make sure we getting our money's worth if we're going to be doing anything. So with all of that said, y'all, I'm going to try not to go too far down a rabbit hole, because y'all know I can go there. But I hope that this conversation tonight is one that is the beginning of what should be a very positive dialogue and a positive direction for this dance in regard to the music, in regard to where we're headed, and in the way of bringing new blood into this dance. I would love to see that. I would love to see newer people coming in, young people coming in and enjoying what we've been accustomed to longer than some of them been alive. That's what I'm looking forward. So with that, do you have anything, producer lady? Nope, not you. What? You ain't got no questions? What? Oh, Lord. Yeah. And y'all, I want everybody to make sure that and I'm sorry I don't have the details in front of me. You all be sure and check out my girl Sharnice. She has an event coming up here in November. It is the Grammys of Steppin. Y'all want to check that out. That's going to be a beautiful thing. Also, next week, y'all, we will be in Houston, Texas for Texas Heat. Nike and Crystal, once again, putting on that event. We will be there. Matter of fact, don't meet me there, beat me there. We will be broadcasting live. We got a special surprise for everybody on that event in terms of the broadcast. Y'all is sure to enjoy on the broadcast. It's gonna be a good time, period, all the way across the board. Last year was phenomenal. I had so much fun. This year, I think it's gonna be just as good or better. Let me see. Where'd she go? See, she took off on me. You see how she do me, y'all? 1 minute she here, next minute she gone. The other events we got coming up, I can't even think of all of them. There's a lot happening, but we're gonna get to that on the next few shows, because but the main thing right now is Texas Heat. Now, let me say this much right here to my audience. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the world's largest steppers competition broadcast, which was 5 hours. It started out as 5 hours and 9 minutes. I had to cut 1 minute of it for copyright purposes. But that video, to date, in the last hour, had reached 192,000 views. Y'all are the bomb. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. That video has gone viral. That's what's up. And it goes to show you there are a lot more people in this dance, interested in this dance, and that love this dance than we sometimes give credit for. Almost 200,000, y'all. Almost 200,000 views. For me, that's a milestone. So I'm gonna just leave that right there. But I want to say thank everybody. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, hanging out. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, to go on the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. And also, if you intend to watch the Texas Heat competition, because it is a steppers competition, if you intend to watch that event, let me tell y'all the same thing I told everybody before. Huh?
We had 26,000 for Texas Heat so far this year. I'm sure we're going to double.
Okay. She said we had 26,000 views on the Texas Heat video from last year. This year, though, I'm sure we're going to double it. Now, listen, let me give y'all these instructions right quick. If you're not able to make it to Texas Heat, and it is a contest, just like the world's largest, it's going to be a good one. 12, let me see, it's 12, what is it, $13,000 in prize money? 12.5 or 13,000 in prize money. Oh, yeah, and it's going down. And whoever wins them categories is going to get paid. Like, I mean, it ain't no, whoever competes, if it's only one person in the category, you still getting paid first place money. I'm just saying. Here's what you got to do for the people that are not going to attend and you want to watch. Go to your television. If you got a smart TV. If you don't have a smart TV, you got Apple TV, Roku, or a Fire Stick. Add the YouTube app. Go to YouTube, smart TV, or any of those other devices. Put the YouTube app on your television. Type in Inside Steppin. Hit that subscribe button. When I come live on that Friday, when we start broadcasting, you'll be able to watch all of the festivities of these events for the weekend through Inside Steppin on YouTube live as we broadcast. So get ready for that. Houston, Texas, we coming. It's going down, y'all. So, doggone it, almost forgot. Tony Adway, brother, congratulations. Tony grandbaby came today. Man, that's what's up, big brother, little brother, big brother. He always called me big brother. It don't matter. He bigger than me. Tony Adway, congratulations, my man. That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing, brother. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Your journey has been interesting and long. And all I'm going to say to you is, brother, I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. So that new grandbaby is in the building. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for coming and kicking it. It's time for us to get on down. We're going to have a pre-show for Texas Heat on next Tuesday. We're going to talk about it. We'll probably have Nike and Crystal on, and we're going to discuss the upcoming events and all of the fun is to be had, because you might want to grab you a ticket at the last minute, because I'm telling you now, it's going down, y'all. It's going to be off the hinges around that joint. All right. Have a good night. I love y'all. And like my man Tony Adway say, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a good night, y'all. We out of here. Peace.